Ladies and gentlemen, this is Frank Donga. You are already listening to Boom Radio. Just leave the dial there. Settle down. Listen to it. Open your ear. Don't touch it now. Boom Radio. Live and direct. Frank Donga in the building.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is the Boom Bar right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Dolupo, and I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. We're going to be talking about a lot of things. The NLC is in the news again. Now they have a date for their protest. The EFCC is also arraigning a lot of people here and there. There are a few updates on there are a few allegations and a few conversations around the PDP presidential candidate made a few allegations, a few claims, and will be addressing some of them. The updates from the ruckus that happened in the PDP's meeting yesterday. There are a few issues with the APC as well that we're going to be talking about. First Bank and General Hydrocarbons. That matter, I'm not sure I understand very well. But we'll see. It doesn't look like First Bank is loosening the noose on their neck anytime soon. There are quite a number of stories, international stories as well. Sad news of the aircraft collision that happened in Washington, D.C. as well. And quite a number of Champions League conversations. And then the transfer news, there's a lot that is heating up. There's a lot of gist there, a lot of gist. So definitely we're going to get all around to that today on the bar. So sit back, relax, and let's enjoy today's show. Again, my name is Dolupo, and with me in the studio is Sola Rogers.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to the bar. Let's go, people.
Okay, so we're going straight into the gist like I had said earlier. Interesting news. The NLC is set to hold nationwide strike. Protest. This is going on. They say against the Telecom's tariff hike.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Well, we talked about this briefly, but now this is an update. We talked about it a couple of days ago when they started raising dust about it. And now,
so brace yourselves. Tuesday, February 4th.
Now, at least you guys are lucky. It's not February 14th. If I could reach out to them, I would just say, look, just to save us all the traffic and unnecessary shenanigans, you do it on the 14th. I don't know which day.
Now you're a hater at this point.
Yeah, you can call me a hater. Don't matter. Don't change none. It don't change none. Doesn't change anything. Go change it, Coco. So, I just feel like if they have to protest, let it be more impactful on the economy and on the people and on the lives of people, Just picture, hey, madam, picture your husband not going out that day because there's protest and he has to stay back at home. Fantastic Valentine, right? When was the last time he stayed at home for Val? I'm telling you.
Anyway, we're going back to the original gist. Now,
it's still the original gist now.
The thing for me with it is that at times, maybe I'm wrong with the way I'm looking at it, but at times I think that NLC fights a lost battle. First things first, I think I saw a report. The MTN CEO has said that it had not been implemented yet, this tariff hike, but that I know that one of the conversations that they were having was that they want 100% increase in the tariff hike. I know that the federal government had proposed the 50%, and I think they stuck to 50%. Yeah, everybody agreed to 50%. It's obvious that even from the angle of even the government, that could influence that issue coming from the telecoms, has already come out to say that there's going to be a 50% increase. So what are we doing?
Yeah, well, the fact that they've not, enacted the tariff increase does not mean that they should not protest against it. Oh, this wire again. I feel it's NLC trying to, and I'm basically still supporting you people for the current second. But okay, so like I was saying, the fact that they're trying to increase it, or they have not, does not mean that they shouldn't fix a date. They can stop it completely if they have the powers to, and that's what they think they do.
But do you think that this protest,
in my opinion, it's misplaced? We all know how things have gone up. We know that the government policies, has basically increased the cost of living. A whole lot of things has gone up. And you expect the same telecoms companies to operate at the same rate that they've been operating for many years. It's not possible. Thank God that sector is regulated, because if it was deregulated, they would have been increasing the thing just as they want. So again, it's good that after negotiations, we're looking at the 50% tariff hike. I feel that it's expected. Anybody that they agreed for the NLC to have agreed to minimum wage increase as some kind of quid pro quo for the removal of subsidy and all of that, they should expect things
some
like
of these things.
If the NLC is really serious, what they need to do, they have the manpower, hit the market, hit the street, do a comparative analysis of cost of things. Don't just protest telecoms alone because they are announcing it. Protest the cost of housing that has gone up. And ask some of these old houses that were built even before Nigeria started using dollar, why it has gone up.
Why it has gone up, yeah. It's
Check
ridiculous.
All the efforts that the government has made in the transport sector. Why people who got free CNG conversions are charging the same as people who are using PMS. These are more germane and more pertinent and more important issues, in my opinion. And they will be more impactful. Are you interfacing with the NURTW and the RTA and the Okada riders and all of that? What exactly are you doing with them? Because not every worker will get to ride a free bus to the office as provided by government.
Yeah.
What about the private sector? The people who are impacted by this thing that are not even in the formal sector. So telecoms, yes, I get it, but what would you rather have them do? Go out of business?
Okay. So, basically, like I said, I think that a lot of times the NLC, and at times when I see those things, it's almost like as if it's, how do I say it now? Like you're losing relevance. Because from time to time you hear all this happen, and then we just, all in the name of just because you want to do something, God. Yeah, so that they say that, okay, you are still here. It's not working. Yeah, it's not like there's anything that you've done in the... Okay, the only thing is that, please, federal government, just wanted to put it out there. Please, this protest that they want to do, please, can we man our national grid very well? So that some people don't believe that it is time to shut down the national grid again. That's my own. See, anybody can protest as much as they like. Good luck to you. It's not... The honest, real truth is, it doesn't affect me. Probably will not affect most people. So...
a lot of people...
the one that, that might affect me.
A lot of people, activists, politicians and everything, just feel that every single move that happens must be, prevented. You must be contrary to whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you also must contradict it. But I think if we were smart about being opposition or being civil service, civil organization, what do they call themselves again? All the people that join this protest, they should realize that it's not every time that is protest that is the answer. Even within their associations, what are you doing directly? Some of these associations, they're by choice, but a lot of them are actually compulsory if you operate in certain industries. So based on that, what are you doing interfacing with those sector by sector groups? What exactly are you guys doing in the area of welfare? Are you using your numbers for good? There are ways you can actually use the numbers you have to make life completely different and better for your members, and which will also have a ripple effect. You see, every Nigerian that earns is feeding or settling or dashing or giving at least 2 or 3 other people every month something out of their salary, no matter how big or small. So any decision you take, there will always be that ripple effect.
So I don't know, Sha. Well,
or
NLC
trickle
will be
down
fine.
effect.
NLC will be fine at the end of the day. The honesty will be fine. Anyway, let's move on from that. As the EFCC is set to arraign today, they have now arraigned former Executive Secretary of the NHIS, Professor Usman Yusuf. This is over misconduct and fraudulent practices. This person was the immediate past Executive Secretary of the NHIS under former President Muhammadu Buhari. Yes.
When that news broke yesterday, it came with immediate backlash. A lot of people, because this man has been very vocal, criticizing the government. He even talks down at the Buhari that gave him appointment, which is a strong thing. I like it when you're bold enough to. There's something we like to say now: speak truth to power. You get, but he that comes to equity must come with clean hands. I have seen people say government is trying to silence this man because he has been criticizing them.
Yeah, so apparently...
But sorry,
okay.
I've not even made my point. But I said you must come to equity with clean hands. So let there be no allegations. Do you understand? You need to be in a position where... Look, nobody can come and meet you right now and say that he stole government money, allegedly. They can say he stole his party's money.
Yeah.
They can say he's collecting grants to cause trouble or what. You can say all of those things.
Well,
even if you can't prove it, you can say it. But you can't say that he took one ministry's money because he didn't work there. You get. So I don't say that it's wrong for you to work with government. I don't say there's anything wrong with criticizing government. I'm just saying that if you're going to be a critic,
at least the least you can
ensure
do
that they have nothing on you.
Exactly.
And I'm hoping that these allegations are just what they say
now,
they
so
are.
apparently,
allegations.
These allegations are coming all the way from 2019.
Yep.
It was already relieved by President Buhari then, and there was petitions against him. So one will say that the anger is from the anger is justifiable from there. But now they're saying that there was over mismanagement of 919 million naira. Now my question is, like you said, if you are going to critique the government, the past government, and this government, and if you're going to be very vocal, you have to be clean. But my question will be now is that how come nothing was done since 2019?
Oh, well,
2025.
That's a very good question. Very, very good question. But the truth is, it still doesn't mean that when it's time for judgment, it's time for judgment.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that that's a long time.
I feel, yeah, regardless. It's not statute bad. There's no statutes of limitation that can come to force now. That, and because they didn't prosecute this guy since 2019, they should let him go. My own thing is, first things first, don't be in a position where they want to charge you for stealing or whatever in the first place. Secondly, if you know that you have done some hanky-panky, can you just go quietly into the night? Go and hide somewhere. In fact, leave the country. Go and spend your filthy earnings somewhere.
Don't now be forming.
But you see, especially a few people that worked with former President Buhari, you will see them criticizing with a lot of venom. There was one guy that worked in the Ministry of Sports. There's another one that worked in the Ministry of Transportation. There's another one that worked in the interior. That one they call the own Vex. There are a couple of them. So it's a trend that you see that because you're not in government, everything that's happening in government is now bad.
It's now bad, yeah.
But when you were there, sir and ma, it was cool, right?
Which is okay, yeah. There's freedom of speech. Just don't make just make sure that when you yourself were there, your slate was clean.
So this uncle's matter, I just pray that regardless of whether it's 2019 or 2025, that his hands are actually clean. Because you know what that does. And this is one of the mistakes that government makes. There are some people that when you arrest them, you make them more popular. Mm-hmm. When you arrest them, or when you respond to them, or when you contradict them, you make them more popular. People that didn't know them will now know them. And I have several examples that I can give you. So just picture this man now being very innocent. Like they charge him and he wins the case. He's going to have some kind of massive rise in the eyes of the people. People will say, oh my God. So they were just trying to pin something on him to silence him.
Anyway, so we'll see where all that is going. We'll definitely follow the case. But before we leave the issue of courts, there's still quite a number of conversations. So yesterday, there was news that had broken, and that the conversation was that, remember the General Hydrocarbons Limited, the Unduka Baigbena story and all that. Mm-hmm. Now, there was story yesterday that said our court had vacated the order freezing the General Hydrocarbons Limited assets. I saw that story on this day yesterday, and I'm like, oh, okay, interesting news. However, First Bank Nigeria has now come to clarify that. Has said that there were 8 injunctions at first, and there were only 2 that were Mariva orders, and those were the ones that were set aside by the court yesterday. So orders 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 were not discharged or set aside, saying that they remain valid and subsisted, meaning that GHL and its directors are still restrained from dealing with or dissipating monies in their respective accounts and assets connected to the subject matter of the suit. Now, it's obvious that First Bank is not. It's a matter of what was the thing? It's not no go agree. No grief for anybody on this matter. Now, my question is, I know that a lot of people carried that story yesterday, and I think basically most of the story emanated from the media that this man owns. Makes sense, yeah? Mm-hmm. Is it just for the optics that story came out? Because if it's for the optics, and you still use your ATM card and the money is still not coming out, you still don't have money. I'm just saying, was it just for the optics that story came out the way it came out?
We cannot say for sure why it came out the way it came out, although it's almost obvious, but we cannot say for sure. We were not part of their strategy meetings. But the thing is that it's just funny how, you know the facts, but you twist it because you want to sway your crowd.
But my point is,
but the facts
money
remain.
If you like now, with my tertiary thousands that I have, I go to the ATM, put in it, and it comes out. There, whatever accounts that this GHL or hydrocarbons and they still cannot access their money. Mm-hmm. So what's the point of the media drama? Exactly what I'm saying, that when you do it, and of course the courts are there and they're observing you also. If I was First Bank, beyond putting out a press statement, I think I would have taken it a step further, by actually going back to court to say they have misinterpreted this, and I know they've done it deliberately, and there should be implications for it, because when the court did not vacate something and you said they did, that's criminal. That there should be some repercussions for those kind of things, because that means anybody can just go on air and start saying things just because they can. I'm just saying, like, if the money, you can't still access the money, what's the point? But what do I know? Anyway, moving on from that, still going on about the courts now. Showore, we had talked about it yesterday, that he was arraigned by the police for the things, unprintable things that he had written about the Inspector General of Police. So
allegedly,
for No, was not alleged though. It's all over social media. He wrote it with his social media account. For avoidance of that, or people that do not know or you're not Nigerians, the Inspector General of Police in Nigeria is the highest placed policeman. Just wanted to put it out there. So now he has now been granted bail to the tune of 10 million naira and one shorty in like sum.
Yeah, like I've always felt though, a lot of these things, since they're, except they say it's criminal defamation, I don't know. But I still feel that, he should have his day in court and let the court...
well, he has now. At least he's in court.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I feel. As against locking people up and all of that for this kind of matters, that's my own feeling. So I'm glad that he's had his day in court and he's been granted bail, which shows that he shouldn't have been arrested in the first place. At times they should prepare these cases in a way that they just go straight to court and let them argue it out there and let the judge decide, on which steps to take.
We don't know if, apparently a few weeks ago that I knew there's actually something like criminal defamation and all that. So we need to. But I was still also going to say that, do you not think that, remember the social media bill a lot of people were against? Mm-hmm. Don't you think that at this point we actually need those things now?
But we already have this.
No, there's a cyber crime and all that. Yes, it's now bunched together. Mm-hmm. Now, the idea of cybercrime is more of fraud and all that, but because it's now all those things are all on the
but they've added some of these other things to it now.
That's what I'm saying. Shouldn't we have like a social media law on its own? Maybe those things will be spelled out better.
It's not a bad idea if we feel it's necessary, since there already are laws that speak to these things that you want. If you feel that if they're separated, it will enhance the efficacy of the law, then fine. But again, I'm more concerned about these things being misinterpreted and power being abused by
that's part of it, like
who hold the power.
Exactly. So let these things be spelled out, like that's it.
Yeah, but a lot of things are spelled out, but it doesn't stop law enforcement people from doing things their own way.
Anyway, we'll see where all that goes to. Now let's move on from the courts drama and let's do a bit of politics. First things first, the PDP yesterday, this is an update, has now set up another committee saying that this committee is to resolve the National Secretary position crisis. So the office of the National Secretary was what caused the ruckus yesterday. Two people seem to be holding claim to the same office, and that caused, we saw a bit of hand throwing, leg flinging, quite a number of insults and all sorts of unthinkable things. Anyway, the PDP is saying that they are working in-house to sort it out. I
saw several videos recorded at the PDP's HQ in Abuja where this fight broke out. Let me first address the fact that it's very disheartening that the people involved in this madness did not respect the police people who were on ground.
Oh, you saw the heat.
It's sad, where the police are actually trying to quell all of that angst, and you see them disregard. In fact, one was pointing at a policewoman like, if you don't take time, I will.
Oh, he hit one. One got hit. One woman got hit. And my heart goes out to her because
if
the woman that hit her.
The Inspector General of Police, have you seen these videos?
Everybody there needs to be arrested.
Police PRO, have you seen these videos? Isn't that assault? This is what I'm saying, that you have proof of more serious crimes, and this is a serious crime. Growing up as a young boy, we were told as a Cub Scout and then a Boy Scout later, that your uniform, you must respect your uniform and people will respect you and everything. Don't eat in your uniform, take your beret off if you want to. All of those rules, and this is just Boy Scout level. And now you see police men and women being punched and pushed and shoved. That is a sad thing. And I hope the police will address it.
Will address that part, yeah?
That's one about that video. Two, I haven't been a member of several associations and groups. do people appropriate positions without elections or selection? How
in Nigeria
is it
just what it's pretty
normal that virtually every party has this crisis where they have 2 chairmen at times, they have 2 PROs, now PDP has 2 secretaries. If your elections were not done at the Congress, how were these 2 laying claim to these things?
Are you
how
sure there
emerge?
was not more than one Congress? That's
exactly my point there. Still. And the only Congress that is valid is the one that the Independent National Electoral Commission attends and endorses. So you see, there's a clear-cut way of getting results if you want to get results. But here we are, 2 grown men throwing punches.
Oh,
their supporters.
Quite a number of people.
Open the gate. I was watching the thing. I saw it. I've seen about 2 different media houses posted. I've seen several individuals post different videos.
Quite interesting. It's okay. I know this is not nice to say, but at times it's interesting to watch people fight. Grown people fight. Grown men fights can be interesting to watch. Just for it.
I don't know. Look, if you want to fight, I think you should use more of your head than your knuckles. You look. People are saying that Nigeria is going a certain way. There's the APC saying they are doing well. You are the opposition, the main opposition party. You have the most elected officials outside of the APC. At some point, you were touted as the biggest party in Africa. And I remember clearly when the PDP used to tell us that they were going to rule for 50 years. Here they are now. They cannot even organize an ordinary meeting amongst themselves without beating themselves up. Where's the hope for Nigerians when the opposition has turned on itself?
It's interesting, but anyway, we'll definitely see what is going on with that. But we're not done with politics matters. So, second thing with politics and the gist with politics is that yesterday news broke that the APC has officially expelled Aregbesola. That's the former Minister of Interior out of this party, saying that there's so many anti-party activities. I know that he had been suspended a couple of weeks ago. I think a few days ago we had talked about how his supporters had said that they were leaving the APC. Now it's official. The APC has now ejected him from their party.
I think that it's their party. Now, you can't stop people from joining your party, but you can actually kick people out after joining. And you must have proof and reasons for it, because there's freedom of association and he has fundamental human rights. So if they've breached his fundamental human rights by kicking him out, he should approach the courts. But we all know that politics is funny. This is a man that at some point in time, maybe erroneously or not, I don't know. If you looked at the structure of the southwest politics in Nigeria, especially the then opposition, that's the AD, AC, ACN, now APC, he was like number 2. The man that was perceived as number 1 is still number 1 and is now the president of Nigeria. You would have thought that based on their political affiliations and closeness, that this man would be somewhere, working with this government. But a lot of things have happened. Some that until they put out officially, we're not going to say it. So kicking him out of the party, I'm sure they have strong evidence against him. And if he feels aggrieved,
he should go to court.
Approach the courts.
He should go to court. Anyway,
fight for what you believe in. Don't give up. Ogbeni, don't give up. You must tell them that you started the party together. Show them. Or maybe you just go quiet.
Maybe you just go, yeah, and let's hear what. Anyway,
please
still talking
update
about
as the speaker resumed. The speaker that says is the speaker.
which speaker?
The one that did press conference at the weekend. Has it resumed?
Which one?
The one that did press conference at the weekend.
Of
now,
which country
in
or
Lagos.
state? Oh.
Has it resumed?
I don't know.
Talking about this person that we just talked about just made me remember that person.
I don't know. I don't work in the Lagos State House of Assembly.
Yeah, media person.
The last
all the
I
things,
heard,
all the things that you've talked about, were you working in?
I don't know. The
assembly?
last I heard was that the assembly speaker is a woman. That's all.
No, that's the current speaker. I like her name though.
That's the last me I heard. I don't know anything about that.
I like her name.
Okay.
Miranda, right?
Oh Lord, yes.
Nice name.
Anyway,
sounds like
Lord
that
of
thing that they
mercy.
tell people when they want to arrest you in American movies.
That's Miranda.
What's the difference?
No, his name is Miranda.
What is the one?
Anyway, opposition is now
anyway,
going on. I know I had seen Labour Party. Now Abga is now attacking the APC. I talked about it, but it looks like they are not even doing the fighting now. It looks like it's the other opposition parties are accusing PDP's presidential candidates, Atiku Abubakar, saying after Atiku Abubakar had alleged that the APC is giving people 50 million naira to move to their party. When I saw that, I'm like, seriously, just 50 million?
These guys are cheap.
That was what in my head.
I can't take 50 million. But I can move to any party right now.
But just 50 million was what made in my head. I'm like, so
Dolupo, I'm cheap.
House of Rep
500 million. I can move to any party.
Which party are you before?
I will join. No.
We are talking about people that already have parties. Please move on. Anyway, so in my head, I'm like, so you're saying that House of Rep members and senators who
50
million is like their bread and butter. We all know. Let's not lie to ourselves. It's their bread and butter.
I like to keep an open mind about things.
50 million is their problem.
I like to keep an open mind about things. It's possible that someone of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar's status, would definitely know what he's saying, or not. Would it be not? It can't be. I'm sure he knows what he's saying. You don't expect someone that, exposed and intelligent and sound to just come out and say it's 50 million that is making opposition people.
Okay.
Baba, see, I don't know. If it's your people that gave you this story, even if the story is true, not be every story that they talk. You have to be strategic with your communications.
See, okay, I don't want to be.
It's called strategic communication for a reason.
Like I said, when I first heard it, it sounded laughable. When they told you, didn't it sound laughable to you?
It is laughable.
You didn't just take it in. You now spewed it. Oh God.
It is laughable.
Let me just be quiet before I see something I'm not supposed to see.
Anyway,
before we go to sports, because there are quite a number of sports stories that we're going to go through, just want to put it out there. Gov Makinde has now said civil servants are to wear Aso Oke on Thursdays. They're saying that they want the state to be a bit more traditional, to connect more with our roots, and also they're looking at how people can wear Aso Oke to work on Thursdays.
I am torn. First things first, the pros of this decision is that culture is kept alive, culture and tradition. Mm-hmm. Now, it has a ripple effect, and a trickle-down effect in the sense that people that don't have Aso Oke will buy.
Yeah.
And Aso Oke is made in Nigeria. Forget Adire that they are bringing from China now.
Oh yeah, but Aso Oke is actually done.
Nigeria, we healthy. They don't bring our Adire from abroad.
But I don't waste time.
So we're talking about growing the Nigerian economy, and like I said, I think I talked about it. Was it yesterday or 2 days ago when we were talking about the fashion hub that was opened by the vice president, that was commissioned by the vice president, arguably the biggest in Nigeria or one of the biggest, and set to create thousands of jobs. I said there, and I'm saying, and the same thing obtains here. The fewer people who are buying foreign apparel, the better for Nigeria's naira.
Yeah.
You know, because we need to be manufacturing, we need to keep, growing the Nigerian economy. So I like all of that. And what it means is that I don't know the staff strength of the Oyo workforce, the civil service, but let's just assume it's just 5,000 people. You're talking about 5,000 people, and of those 5,000, at least half of them would need to buy Aso Oke.
Yeah.
And you can't keep wearing the same Aso Oke every Thursday.
Why not?
So you need more than one.
Why not?
You can't now.
Buy white, buy black.
Again, that also has some kind of effect on tailors. You are creating more work for tailors and everything and all. But sir, this is my own downside to it that I don't get. Making it compulsory. Are you providing the funding for it? Is there some kind of soft landing for people? Would it be part of their wardrobe allowance or so? I don't get it because
that's that one.
I'm not going to lie. Aso Oke doesn't come cheap. Even the fake ones.
No, it's not cheap. Aso Oke is not cheap.
Even the fake ones, they are not cheap.
And it's not a lot of material.
Yeah.
So
so again, this can actually bring another boom to that industry.
But
where's the funding going to come from? That's my own. I like it a lot. It ties in with my own immediate plans that before the end of this year, if I go out 340 times of my house, at least I'm wearing something that is native to Nigeria or traditional 300 times, if not 320. You get? So I like what he said, but I think you should take it a step further again, because now you can actually empower tailors and empower the Aso Oke makers to start creating, more materials.
Okay, so now let's move away from that. And like I said, there are quite a number of things that we're going to talk about in sports today. First things first. You know that if you had bet yesterday, especially on Liverpool,
I would have made a lot of money.
How?
I would have made a lot of money.
How? You said Liverpool was going to beat PSV Eindhoven.
But the guy didn't field his first team now.
It don't matter. I like the fact that he didn't need that game. He knew he didn't need the game. He
didn't field his first team. I should have put a caveat there. But check out all my predictions.
Still, you said City was going to lose.
And what did I say as a rider to that?
What?
I said I know that I'm speaking out of beef, but every other prediction,
nope.
Apart from
Barcelona, you said Barcelona was going to win.
And what happened?
It was a 2-2. They did not win.
That 2-2, who won?
I don't understand.
Who qualified?
It's not. No. You are shifting the goalpost. You are shifting the goalpost. You had said that AC Milan was going to beat Dynamo Zagreb. Dynamo Zagreb beat AC Milan yesterday.
You see, what you don't understand in that situation is that I was talking about the next round.
Yeah.
You understand? Where is the Dynamo Zagreb now?
They are not here. They have gone. Anyway, one very eventful game that I wanted to talk about was the Girona Arsenal game. We saw how Raheem Sterling, I think it's time for Raheem Sterling to go back to where he's coming from, because the hate that he got yesterday. And personally, I don't think he had a bad game.
I think he had a very good game. I think that getting a card for simulation was wrong. I watched that game. The funny thing is, watching so many games on two devices at the same time was kind of funny because you will miss some moments. I caught the moment where Raheem Sterling was actually hacked in the 18-yard box. That was supposed to be a penalty for Arsenal. And they gave him a yellow card for simulation. I'm like, no. They just don't like him. But I think he had a good game yesterday.
I think he had a good game. A very eventful game. Girona had scored first. They also they had a goal disallowed. And Raheem Sterling lost a penalty.
Yeah, that part, yeah.
That very interesting game. Anyway, there were quite a number of games.
Arsenal is missing Saka. There's no
obviously. And then Juventus also lost yesterday.
Yeah, they had to lose.
Remember? Wow.
We said they would lose.
No, you did not. Bologna, you had said Bologna was going to win. they did not win.
You know
yesterday.
me, I like spaghetti bolognese. So
Yeah.
Bologna did well.
And Young Boys also lost yesterday. Anyway, with yesterday's game, which was match day 8, now there are 8 teams officially that are now to the straight top 6. They're moving to the round of 16 immediately. Liverpool, Barcelona, Arsenal, Inter Milan, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Lille, and Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa did not do badly at all.
Yeah, Aston Villa making money on the pitch, making money by selling players. Everything is just working for them.
It is working for them. Now we're seeing that now for the knockout phase. Thankfully, Man City finally got a way to get into that part. Atalanta, Borussia Dortmund, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Milan, PSV, PSG, Benfica, Monaco, Brest, Feyenoord, Juventus, Celtic, Man City, Sporting CP, and Club Brugge. There's so many teams, top teams in this place, which I think is a good thing at least.
Yeah, shout out to Brest.
There are probably quite a number of people that would
everybody thought that they were going to fall.
Out.
Everybody thought that Brest was going to fall, but they stood up strong, on point, standing and looking everybody in the face to say, we're still here.
What are you doing?
Shout out to Brest, man.
Anyway, so
my favorite French team.
Okay, so Peterman says predictions on the Gala versus Ajax match.
Me, I'm just going to be sentimental. Gala to win.
And speaking of Galatasaray, apparently they had put out a bid, a 65 million euro bid for Osimhen. They wanted him all to himself, and Napoli says no.
Yeah.
Is it that they want to make more money off him, or they want him back?
Napoli know that if they hold on until the summer, and Osimhen continues to perform at this level, they'll get more than 65. Do you understand? It's a business move, and of course, Kante. What's that? Their coach Conte or Coste. That guy, he knows he messed up.
You don't like the guy.
He knows he messed up.
So let him go.
You went to go and carry Kaku. What's that one again?
Yeah, I mean,
Osimhen for the win. I saw a late comment by someone who watched the other day. We were talking about Osimhen and all the anger issues and everything everybody's talked about. And I just want to address that. I like Osimhen, but that doesn't mean I don't speak the truth about him. You understand? And I still think he's one of the best strikers out of Africa. Yeah. And he still has the future there. Yeah. So they're beating Ajax. It will be lovely.
It will be lovely, Abby. Okay, it says, but now still talking about that and people pulling out of stuff. Interesting news yesterday. Please, what happened with Boniface drama yesterday?
Yeah, so a lot of people got carried away with all the hype, and at no point in time did Al-Nazri say that they were signing him. They didn't put out any statement. And if you follow the experts who know what they're talking about, they said they were looking at 2 players. They were looking at Duran and
but both of them are really young players.
They're looking at him and Boniface. And again, at the same time, Arsenal was looking at Oli Watkins. And Oli Watkins and Duran are the 2 top strikers for Villa. And Villa is like, we can't ever let Watkins go anywhere. Duran is the future, but we can let him go. And somewhere along the line, whoever took those decisions felt that they would get a better deal and a better result from Duran than from Boniface. Maybe because Boniface has been injured and he's just getting back into his stride. I don't know what made them do it. And this is not me being biased now, but if I had to pick, you cannot compare Duran and Boniface in any way.
Yeah.
Pedigree, result, everything. You cannot. You can. If someone that even Villa would not start like that, you are not comparing him to a Boniface. So sadly, they just messed up everything for him. But I still stand by my decision yesterday. If Boniface was my player, if it was my son or my friend or my brother, I'd ask him to. He's playing football to make money.
His money last, Abby.
Just do 2-3 seasons there.
And still talking about money now. Aston Villa, of course, rejected Arsenal's, I think, over 60 million euro bid for Oli Watkins. Now, a few people are going on about how it's not about the business, but it's about Unai Emery not wanting.
It's not beef. It's not because he used to be at Arsenal and
but the guy's got beef for Arsenal.
But it's not beef. This is my opinion now.
Yeah.
You are punching above your weight. Aston Villa is playing the season of their lives.
They not playing fantastic football like that.
What are they doing in Europe?
Okay, in Premier League, they're not.
What are they doing in Europe? It's the season of their lives, Dolupo. I stand to be corrected. Tell me that it's not good enough. Were they there 2 years ago, 3 or 4?
Sure.
Look at where they are now. And they will now let Duran go to Nasri and let Watkins go to us. For what now? For what? For me, there's no way you will sell your best player to one of your closest and biggest rivals. It doesn't make any sense. Arsenal would not do it. Arsenal would. Saka is one of. In fact, he's not one. Saka is the best Arsenal player so far this season. Would they sell him to City? Never. It's the same thing. It has nothing to do with Unai Emery or Biff.
Yeah.
He needs to get all the results, and Watkins is having a fantastic season.
Just wanted also to put it out there for the Champions League knockout playoff draws is set for tomorrow. So we know it's just a 2-game back and forth. So know who's playing who and who's knocking out who before they go on.
City gets knocked out and the others too.
Wow. This hatred is serious. It's a serious matter.
It's not hatred, Joe.
Anyway, still talking about sports. Funny enough, I saw a report today where Pep Guardiola was saying that he doesn't think that City is ready for Champions League this season.
Yeah, why don't you just pull out?
Wow.
You were one goal down. Why did you win?
Anyway, moving out from that, still talking about football, Steven Gerrard has now left Saudi club Al Ettifaq, and
a lot of talk.
There's a lot of talk. So he started the season. Last year they ended the season 6th. At the moment, I think they're about 12th or something. They've lost about 7 of 12 games or something like that. Their stats are not looking.
They always have a soft landing for legends like Gerrard. They say, that he asked to leave and he had some family issues. But
let's be honest.
You was not doing well.
Let's be honest.
And they kicked you out.
I think that
but they will not sack you because of your contract and everything.
It's safe to say that there are only a few, maybe not a few, let's say Zidane, just a few, a handful of very fantastic players that are good coaches.
Yeah, I like the way you said fantastic players, because a lot of coaches today are former players.
Yeah, but then a lot of them are not fantastic players.
You probably didn't know a lot of them because they were just regular players, but they were fantastic people who could read the game and everything.
Yeah.
But they were not as popular as your legends.
Yeah. So maybe it's time to look for another job. Maybe like a pundit, all that thing. There are other businesses or manage players. Not
the kind of money he must have made in Saudi Arabia alone.
Oh yeah, it's okay, but don't be. I think at times some of those things probably water down their.
It's just like Neymar. He didn't even play up to 10 games and
he's done.
My man made some billions.
He made some billions and maybe he just couldn't do it again.
He's gone back to Brazil now.
I'm going. Anyway, Borussia Dortmund also unveiled former Bayern Munich boss as the new manager. Yeah,
they had meetings with other coaches. At some point in time, people thought that the recently sacked Man United coach was going to go there because he also had a meeting with them. He was even there in Germany and all of that. But they've gone with a more, experienced coach, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, okay. So you think he's more experienced. Funny enough. We'll see where that goes to. Now, let's go back quickly and let's do a bit of...
Let me say a more suitable coach.
A bit of international stories. Now, first things first. Sad news coming from Washington, D.C., where a plane and a helicopter actually collided yesterday. The plane had about 64 people on board. They're now talking about pulling people out of the water. It's a very sad one. Also talks.
It's something that shouldn't be happening at all. Do you understand? Because there's always a flight plan. But hey, I don't know, man. Accidents happen.
It's really sad. That talks about some Olympic veterans on that plane, husband and wife, fantastic people, and it's such a very sad, very sad one. But I'm sure that, especially with flights and all that, there are always explanations to what really happened in those instances.
Yeah.
Also, former US Senator has now been sentenced to 11 years in prison for bribery, extortion, and corruption charges while he was a senator.
Yeah, so you see, politicians are the same everywhere. Everywhere. But let there be consequences. That's the difference. Now, they sent this guy, but there are a couple of them walking free in different parts of Africa.
I agree with you. Now, Meta is...
allegedly.
Meta is said to pay $25 million settlement to United States President Donald Trump, and they say that this was because of the ban. Remember when they banned him, then, and he sued them.
I'm not going to talk about this one. It's just funny.
Anyway, so you have something to say it. Okay, so before we go quickly, I wanted to talk about something that I'm not sure that I would have talked about it before, but I give it another thought. So there's a story of a particular lady or a rapper that is said to be suing a cab hailing service in the United States. And why is she suing them? Because the driver did not pick her up. According to the driver, he said that she was too big and his tires cannot take her. So this lady is about 221.8 kg. And she's suing the company for, I think, about $1 billion or something. Yeah.
Yeah, because they also made the big mistake of apologizing when she went to town with that story. And I think it was a big mistake. Why would you apologize? You know? Why would you say sorry?
Maybe they probably didn't know like the full facts of it.
Look, I've seen a lot of people making those videos, you get. And I feel for them. There's a lady, she's plus size. And she's been carrying on with a campaign that airlines should make bigger seats. You see, the airlines, they can only do what they can only do because it's mass transportation. So the seats are more or less standard. And there's a certain number of people they can carry and a certain weight and height and width. I use width loosely. But it's similar to what I think this lady is just trying to make a quick buck, you know, by suing a cab hailing service.
And I think that is laughable. See,
and the truth is, a lot of people are not going to like this, but it's a two-way thing. For instance, if I make shoes, I make different sizes of shoes. If you buy a shoe from me, it is assumed that you know what you bought and that it's your size. If it doesn't fit you, you can't sue me now.
Yeah.
Baba, now you go buy shoe when no size you. Oh, I don't get your size. Sorry, oh. Now the sizes where I get at the sell. It's the same thing with the cars. You see, she should have been more specific. She should have ordered a truck. You know, yeah, maybe. Maybe try to.
I saw her pictures.
Lose some weight.
And I think that this is
healthy.
This happens a lot with younger generation. This is my generation and younger. And I think that at times we don't tell ourselves the truth. I remember I went to an event once and talking about different people, and a woman had started talking, and up until she said it, you probably might not notice that she was blind.
Yeah.
And she was very upfront. You're like, it is what it is. Don't help me sugarcoat it. Like, okay, now that you know I'm blind, can we move on to
something else?
To the gist today's. And she's like that. She says it upfront so that it's not like you are trying to dance around the topic and then you're trying to be political. Exactly, you're trying to be political correct. That it is what it is. And I know that now these days everybody talks about body shaming and all that. Anybody that looks at me, I'm not a slim person. I don't deceive myself.
I'm Slim Shady.
Anyway, so you look a certain way. A guy says, oh, okay, my tires can't take this. You probably can't enter the car. I saw her. I'm not sure she probably would be able to enter the back of the guy's car, actually. And he said, no, would you feel bad? You probably will feel bad. And let's not take that away. She probably will feel bad as a human being, yeah?
You don't feel bad. I think it was all set up
But
and everything.
If you,
Have
even
seen,
if you
have
feel
you seen
bad,
videos of her trying to drive?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying that it's not okay for her to feel bad.
So
But
she
it's
should
not
sue
the
the car
guy's,
manufacturer.
my issue is, it's not the guy's fault that you are that size. That's my own issue. Like, you might feel bad, but the guy's concerns are also valid. His concerns are valid. You might feel bad, but don't put it on him that. And I saw a video. I don't think the guy said something that was out of the world. At this point, everybody wants to sue everybody. To me, she's just looking for a quick buck. Auntie, you are not a slim person. You are not even just a fat person. You are like 600 pounds.
Morbidly obese.
And in fact, for your health, I don't even think that it is healthy for any human being to be that big. A few hours ago, we heard about a rapper, 28-year-old stone-on rapper, comedian, who actually had a heart attack. The guy is really on the plus size. He was on tour. He actually died of cardiac arrest. These things happen. I don't know. I don't know what she was thinking, but looks like but it's the US. Anything can happen. But I don't think that.
I think a lot of people just,
I don't think it's right.
They try to work the system to make a quick buck.
Yeah, I don't think it's right. I honestly don't think so.
I saw a video of her where she was making a song, and the way she could do it, she was sitting in the trunk of a car. She couldn't even sit properly. You understand? You know the truth about yourself. You better get a life together, baby.
Let's not deceive ourselves. Anyway, on that note, that is all we have to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the comments. We'll be back again tomorrow at 3 p.m. West African time to give you another wonderful edition of The Boom Bar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day.